Before we begin, I want to support this channel by subscribing because your support helps this channel grow. Today, we are diving into a controversial story that brought intense debate across Jamaica. During a live television broadcast, passionate citizens voiced their concern and frustration, leading into a heated discussion. What was said led people into talking about it. Before we begin, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification so you never miss the latest update of Jamaica and the Caribbean. Watch the video to the end and back with few comments.
Where is the Jamaican government?
Nowhere. Send an agent to give out the money. Send a client with the money. Don't give it to Mr. Andrew Homeless because he's not going to give you the money where we figure people about we house.
The government get that money, we'll never get it. I promise you that.
Money. We will never get that. Give him, carry one that come and don't get 1 cent. This town gone where they are don't get nothing, not even sweetie. Don't send the money. Worldwide foreign country, please don't send no money to Andrew Homeless because he's not going to give Jamaica people. Please, me I beg you no.
Those who are of the view that the government can engage in a spending spree, thank God they are not the government.
The latest Auditor General's report has found that of the $1.44 billion donated for Hurricane Melissa relief, only 1.8% or $26 million has so far been spent. That money, it says, went solely to roofing materials. Meanwhile, leftover funds from Hurricane Beryl of over $138.8 million Jamaican dollars and $100,000 remain untouched. The report notes that the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, had no expenditure plan, leaving aid idle while citizens waited for relief. The audit also revealed that millions were withheld by a financial services institution, some $15.7 million Jamaican dollars and nearly $300,000. There was no formal contract. Transfers were delayed and the Auditor General could not confirm if the money ever reached ODPEM's accounts. This, as the report reminds, that the audit is one aimed at retaining transparency in the use of the funds and ensuring accountability as the government embarks on several projects under the recently passed NARA. But there was more. The roof restoration program also came under fire. The report notes that $34 million in roofing materials has been delivered without signed receipts. It found that payment records for contracts worth over $100 million were missing. This, as ODPEM says, 421 roofs were repaired, but auditors found no clear beneficiary verification and no completion reports. Also under the microscope, the National Disaster Fund. The audit concluded that the NDF, Jamaica's safety net, is not compliant with the law. It shared the fund had no designated bank account. As such, the report continued, the funds are mixed with other projects. Additionally, it notes required annual reports and statements of accounts have not been prepared from as far back as 2018. As of February, the fund held $163 million in cash and $293 million in investments. Despite this, the Auditor General says oversight remains weak. The Auditor General concluded that weaknesses in financial management and governance threaten Jamaica's disaster response. The report urges ODPEM to act immediately with a clear expenditure plan, a dedicated account for the disaster fund, and formal agreements with partners. Without swift reforms, the Auditor General notes donor trust and public confidence could erode, leaving Jamaica vulnerable when next a storm hits.
So those who are of the view that the government can engage in a spending spree, thank God they are not the government. The government has to be frugal, it has to be careful, it has to watch now more than ever. It has to watch every dollar that is spent. Because yes, we are in a good position, no doubt. We have never been in a position where a disaster struck and we don't have to be scrounging around to find $1.1 billion. We have it there. To start, we can start. That is because of the fiscal management of the government that built resilience in our fiscal affairs.
One opposition senator counters,
"It is unconscionable and scandalous that the government sat and donated money while thousands of Jamaicans suffered People were hungry. People were sleeping under damaged roofs or no roofs at all. Families were struggling to rebuild their lives, and the money donated by generous Jamaicans and well-wishers to help them was simply sitting idle, going nowhere.
So those who are of the view that the government can engage in a spending spree, thank God they are not the government.
Unlike the government, the facts are honest. The Auditor General confirmed that 88% of the $1.4 billion in Hurricane Melissa donations remain uncommitted.
The opposition's deputy spokesman on productivity, efficiency and effectiveness says this means there was no plan, no contract and no obligation to deploy the funds. He reasons,
bureaucracy slows spending, but it does not prevent a government from committing funds. So the question that must be asked is why several months after Hurricane Melissa did 88% of donated funds have no commitment whatsoever attached to them. And this appears to be a pattern because we must recall that the Auditor General said that 138 million from hurricane burial donations in 2024 sat idle and was never reported to the Ministry of Finance as required by the law.
The public should note that Finance Minister Favour Williams had itemized the 67 billion Jamaican dollars being spent on Hurricane Melissa recovery and relief efforts during her contribution to this year's budget debate. The referenced expenditure includes approximately $10 billion to assist Jamaicans to repair their roofs.
So those who are of the view that the government can engage in a spending spree, thank God they are not the government. The government has to be frugal. It has to be careful. It has to watch now more than ever. It has to watch every dollar that is spent. Because yes, we are in a good position, no doubt. We have never been in a position where a disaster struck and we don't have to be scrounging around to find $1.1 billion. We have it there. To start, we can start. That is because of the fiscal management of the government that built resilience in our fiscal affairs.
The senator also countered the government's response, contending there's no defense for the handling of the funds and demands that a transparent expenditure plan be laid out for the money.
As it relates to the approximately 1.44 billion Jamaican dollars that have been received in donor funds for Hurricane Melissa related support, 600 million of that amount is being used to build bases for the modular housing solutions for people whose dwellings have been destroyed. Additionally, $240 million is being used to support the Government of Jamaica directed roof repair program, where the JDF assists Jamaicans to restore their dwellings. This is separate, of course, from the roofs program. Additionally, $560 million has been committed to additional Melissa-related recovery efforts.
Senator Morgan cannot credibly blame red tape for money that was never directed anywhere. These are not bureaucratic delays. This is a governance failure. Jamaicans who donated in good faith deserve accountability, and we're calling on the government to immediately publish a transparent expenditure plan for all outstanding disaster relief funds.
The government has said the findings further support the need for the National Reconstruction and Resilience Authority, NARA, to chart the country's infrastructure rebuilding efforts after Hurricane Melissa.
Where is the Jamaican government?
Donors, though,
Nowhere!
would not give out.
Send a agent to give out the money. Send a client with the money. Don't give it to Mr. Andrew Homeless because he's not going to give you the money where we figure people about we house.
The government get that money, we'll never get it, I promise you that.
Money. We will never get that. Give him, carry one that come and don't get 1 cent. This town gone where they are don't get nothing, not even sweetie. Don't send the money. Worldwide foreign country, please don't send no money to Andrew Homeless because now I'm going to give Jamaica people, please, me I beg you no.
Government Secretary Rubio and the American people have promised support to the people of Jamaica. These are very large lift helicopters. They're going to be working shoulder to shoulder with the JDF to get supplies out to the Jamaican people. Where is the Jamaican government?
Nowhere. Send an agent to give out the money. Send a client with the money. Don't give it to Mr. Andrew Homeless because he not going to give you the money where we figure people about we house.
The government get that money, we'll never get it, I promise you that.
Money. We will never get that. Give him, carry one that come and don't get 1 cent. This town gone where they are don't get nothing, not even sweetie. Don't send the money. Worldwide foreign country, please don't send no money to Andrew Homeless because he not going to give Jamaica people, please, me I beg you no.
So those who are of the view that the government can engage in a spending spree, thank God they are not the government.
As we come to the end of this discussion, one thing is clear. Jamaica are passionate about their country and deeply concerned about their issues that affect their future. Stories like this remind us that citizens want their voice heard and their concern addressed. The conversation happening across Jamaica today reflects the hope, frustration, and expectation of people who care about the direction of their nation. What do you think about this situation? Do you believe the concerns raised are justified, or do you see things differently? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. We would love to hear your perspective and continue the conversation with our growing community. If you enjoyed this video and want more updates on Jamaica and Caribbean and the stories making headlines around the region, before we continue, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like to the video, and share it with your friends and family. Your support helps this channel grow more content and keeps this important discussion going. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. Until next time, stay informed, take care. See you in the next video.